Are you running out of time to spend doing the things that matter in your life? Spend valuable time with your family, or even to start that new project that you've been working on. There's still so much I want to do, but I just don't have the time. I'm so busy. I wish I had more hours in the day. This is something I hear people say regularly, family, friends, and even some of my students. And while I understand that, there is a way to find the time. Now, before you wonder what new time management skill am I going to teach you, let me put you at ease and tell you that I'm not going to teach you time management. You see, like one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, said, you actually can't manage time. Time is a constant that is always moving. You can't stop time when you wish and then start it again. Time is always moving. But what can you do? Well, you can manage the tasks that you carry out in that time. It was only once I started doing this, and I've done this for years and years, that I was able to achieve so much in a day and still have free time. Now, the best way for me to explain this to you is for me to show you a technique that I have used previously and that I teach to some of my students with regards to how you manage the tasks that you do within the time that you have available to you every day, which, like everybody else, is just 24 hours. But when managed correctly, you can achieve so much more within that time. So let me show you what I'm talking about. What you see here is a weekly timetable broken down into the 7 days of the week and the 24 hours of the day. And then what I do is I go ahead and I fill in what I do for the week. So this would be my typical week. So the first thing I do is I put in my sleep time, generally 6 to 7 hours a day. I then add in my wake up time. Now, what I mean by that is actually getting out of bed, making the bed, having my first cup of coffee, having a shower, just generally getting ready for the day. I then have an hour of admin where I check my emails, I check my websites, I look to see if any plugins need to be updated, just the administration part of my business. I then add in my meal time, being lunch, I add in my dinner time, and then 2 hours of work. This could be taking on coaching calls, this could be coming up with new content for my Facebook page or my social media accounts, or doing some updates on my website. I also have some time allocated to meditate. This is something I do on a daily basis. Before I go to sleep, I do some visualization exercises. I then have time allocated for innovation. Now, what I mean by that is, coming up with new ideas for my business, thinking of how to get my business to the next level, thinking about how to be innovative in my next marketing campaign, just generally allowing my mind just to wander and come up with new ideas. I have family time allocated because that is critical. It's really important that your life is balanced. Now, the prepare time, what I mean by that is just getting everything in place to shut down the current day and prepare myself for the next day. So when I start working the next day, everything is in place and I can hit the ground running. So it's basically having a to-do list or prioritizing the items that I need to do on the next day. I have time allocated for my weekly shopping, and then I add in some more family time, and now you can see how much free time I still have available. Doing this just visually shows you what you do with your time and where you are productive, where you are not, where you can save some time, and also where you have some free time where you can then allocate to new projects. This technique is so powerful because we are visual beings, and things sometimes make a lot more sense when we visualize them. The brain is an amazing thing. There is so much in there. It's like a sponge, it just takes everything in. But then that also means when you're trying to work things out in your head, it's pretty chaotic. And that's when you start getting overwhelmed and you start saying things like, I'm just so busy, I just do not have the time. But when you put it down in a visual format like I have just shown you, you'll be surprised how much time you're actually going to find to do the things that really matter in your life. Now, this doesn't mean you have to do this every single week. I don't do it anymore. You see, because once you get into a productive routine and you understand how to use your time productively, you do it automatically. It is part of your schedule. You don't have to have a weekly time sheet. But in the beginning, I would recommend do that. Have a look at where you're being productive, where you're wasting time. And don't be surprised if all of a sudden you find you have spare time, even after you have allocated time to do the things that really matter. Go ahead, give it a try. You'd be surprised at how much time you're going to find.